All right, and we are live.
Excellent.
I'm starting. Hello, you're watching Productivity and Procrastination. I'm Joseph.
And I'm James.
And we're just a couple of dudes looking to get productive. We've been procrastinators for a while, though.
We
And
are
this
working on our.
is
Oh,
episode
this
15.
is 15. Wow.
Or
And we are
16?
currently working on a project that we call Project Pancake.
Yeah. Episode 16. Episode 16.
Got the number wrong?
We got the number wrong. Project Pancake. All
Oh.
right. Well, James, what's going on?
Well, first of all, I can't see your share.
Oh, yeah. That's my bad. There you go. Now you can
Oh.
see it.
That is
Do you regret it?
a little. A little. But,
Is that better for you?
that's probably a little better. I don't know. It's a little odd today. So, how are you?
Good. I'm good.
Great.
How are you?
Well, I am not so great.
Oh, no.
I had a rough week, Joe.
Yeah, you did. Tell us
This
about
is
your
the
rough
first. This is the first time ever I have not looked forward to this.
week. Really?
Yes. Even when I sucked, and, I didn't think to myself, oh no, I have to do the stream. I felt this week has been rough, Joe. I have learned that, one, well, let's just start from the end of last week. So I left your house after working on stuff, and only to learn that my wife was in the ER.
Right.
So I drove straight there and had to deal with that for a few hours.
And how's she doing?
We didn't know. There was some heart issues that they were looking at. They did a CAT scan and they did all these things, and she eventually got to leave, and they didn't think she was in imminent, concern for death. So she was able to leave, but my wife has she was born with a heart problem, and so she is naturally, worried about her heart,
Right.
and so not knowing, what was going on, and then they said, oh, well, you have this other thing here that she never heard about before, and so that was added. And we didn't know what that was, whether it was something that they knew about already, or it was new, or what. And, of course, Dr. Google helps.
Oh, it's the best.
Everything
I've heard
is
that we don't even need regular
chaos.
doctors anymore. We just need Google.
Right. So that didn't help. So she was going to die any moment. And so I had to, but that's what the paper says.
Right.
So oh my, I had to just kind of evaluate things. So then, while this is going on, like a few
Forgot
days
about this
later, I
part.
learned that I'm going to lose my job shortly.
Jesus.
So So I'm like, so basically, I've had a rough week. I've
Mm-hmm.
been thinking about the practical things, like what, things like how can I pay my mortgage?
Right.
Things like that. And how do I deal with my wife who may be dying? And so then we went to the cardiologist appointment yesterday, and we heard, well, he knew about that, but it wasn't yet to a concern point. And so that was, you know, relatively good news. We could live with that. Uh, it wasn't fun hearing she had this other issue that no one ever told her about, but, you know, but how they fix these things nowadays with her other problem, her valve,
Mm-hmm.
they may be able to do it relatively at the same time. So, and one of the good news is that nowadays they don't have to do open heart surgery like they did the last time
Mm.
that she had this, well, issue come down to something that needed to be done. So that was good news. Um, we did a photo shoot this week with live model this time, and we took like 800 and something pictures, and we weeded
Dang.
them down to like 200 and something that we think are pretty good to use. And so, besides just doing all of that, just wrestling with avoidance basically is what I've been doing. I've been any moment that hasn't been just stressful and just thinking about the future and either life without or with
Mm-hmm.
has been me avoiding everything and just diving into a video game and just
Yeah.
saying I just need an escape for a minute. I don't
Yeah.
need a headache right now, you know.
No, no, absolutely, dude.
And this is the first week ever where I'm like, am I should I be just focusing on the practical right now, and should we not be working on some project? Um, and so I was struggling quite a bit with whether or not to just basically say, "Hey, I need to take a break, or I need to get out." And but this Joe kept on messaging me like all over the place,
Well, I know
and
it's
I just thought to myself, I'm not gonna just stop. I'm gonna give it Friday. I'm gonna give it like a big meaty day that I should be maybe thinking about making resumes and things like that. And instead, I'm just going to continue, and I'm going to do that. Um, and we have decided to work quite a bit today. So um, that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to call anything.
mm-hmm.
I'm going to just avoid saying no and just going to continue along despite, circumstances right this moment, and I'm going to go from there. That's where I'm at right now. Hey, that is what's going on.
All right. Sounds good, dude. Yeah, I kept bugging you, but it wasn't like, oh, I can't wait to do our video tomorrow. I mean, I do like our video, but I was more worried about, your wife, who is my friend.
Yes, I just, my, you didn't know the workings of my. You don't want to know the workings of my mind,
Yeah,
but
I figured there's not a lot.
a mouse running around and a cricket maybe. But anyway, uh, it you know it was just, do I continue or not? You
Mm-hmm.
know, It's like, do I need to focus on the practical? You know, how do I make money right now? And so it has been a little bit of a rough week.
So what you're saying is you need some inspiration.
Sure, I'll take whatever
Okay.
you can give me here.
So my intention was to have 2 illustrations done, 2 pages done for our pancake.
Yes.
However, I realized that the first page was taking quite a bit longer than I expected, and it's still not done. However, it is nearly done, and I want to show that to you now.
Oh, showing me the near. Ooh, hey. I kind of like the colors in that. Okay. Hey, that's a pleasant feeling. I like the color changes and I like things looking sharp and like good. Yeah. Well, congratulations, Joe. That's I like the border thickness on the second pane there. I like it. And I even like the rounded edges on those corners. You know, I never really thought about. I thought straight 90 degree, but that looks nice, clean. Yeah, hey, good job. Well, tell me about the process. Tell me about what took longer than you thought. You know?
So
Sure.
basically, like shaping these garbage cans or these garbage bags to look like they fit on top of each other. It's taking the
Mm-hmm.
time to like make sure I do it right, and it was like a little bit of a learning process too. On working on line weights. So
Mm,
a lot of them, I still need to clean up quite a few of them, but a lot of them, where they meet another garbage can, they're gonna have a thicker line, and then like the farther back they get into space, they're gonna have a thinner line, and it gives this
mm.
the world a lot more 3D feeling to it. And
Okay.
so it took a long while to just get comfortable with like the shapes and just getting, you know, doing it right. And the coloring on the sky isn't done. Uh, I want to add more reds and
Hmm.
stuff.
Yeah, that was the only thing I thought. Oh, well, it'd be nice to have some a different color range there, but I it's a pleasant mood that I get just kind of staring at that page. It's uh it's a good feeling, and I think that it's well done. Good job, Joe.
Thanks.
That's
And
awesome.
if you're listening to this on Spotify, I will be having a link to an Imgur with it as well, so you can take a look.
Well, that is inspiring, actually. You know, just seeing something that looks nice.
Looks well
You know,
done. Looks taken, like, some effort was put into it.
yeah. You know, it looks good, and you should be proud because that's a nice image.
I'm getting better at art. Who knew? Who knew like practicing was making me better? Weird. I did draw every single day this week. It was really easy because I was working on that every single day this week. I didn't get any more pages done in my book because I was working on that.
That's completely great, though.
Yeah. Basically, I threw all other things away other than just basically working on that, which wasn't much else, which was 2 more pages and then work on some illustration sketches. But this is an illustration in and of itself, and so I consider that whatever. As long as I'm making something, it it makes it's nice making something.
Yeah, how does that feel? Making something that is going to be used versus just practicing.
Um, I don't know. It's like I kind of took it at my own pace. Like I would draw some stuff and then pull back, give myself a little space, and then draw some more stuff. And taking the time to like look through it and clean it up. And there's still some stuff I want to clean up, but it's it's really satisfying and it's nice to be working on something. Because when I practice, it's like, okay, cool. I don't ever turn anything into finished pieces. I just do a sketch and then I move on. I never like
Hmm.
finish pieces, and that's a big part of like. There's a lot of steps because like 80% of it is like sketch into like final line art, and then the other 20% is just like clean up details and that type of stuff. So, you know, it's kind of nice doing the whole 100%
Hmm.
because I'm getting practice and I'm seeing where I'm at artistically too. I honestly was kind of shocked when I first drew the first few bags and it looked good. Looked like to me it looked really good. I was kind of impressed at where I was and how easily that came to me. I felt I think for like one of the first times. Well, I guess not first times. I get these sporadic moments of when I say I'm an artist, I don't feel like a fraud.
Mm. Well, just watching your progression has been nice. I mean, you started with pixel art,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you into that pretty heavily. And then from there, you've moved on to, you know, normal non-pixel art.
Mm-hmm.
And I've almost forgotten that you have like this basis of pixel art, in your background, because
Right.
I'm just kind of normally used to seeing other things now. Um,
I
so
also
it's been pretty cool.
I drew a tree.
A tree.
A tree.
Can move back just a little.
It gets blurry if I move it back. So I move it to front.
Yeah, never mind. Hey, I like that tree.
Yeah, I liked
It
it too.
kind of reminds me
It's got a good
of
texture on it.
a tree in like Sunhaven, like the Foley third stage
Oh
of it, but
yeah,
yet
yeah,
at a
it
different
does.
angle that's more you know, artsy. I like it.
Yeah,
It's cute. I always like those trees.
yeah. And I was practicing with I'm trying to render, trying to learn how to render properly, and so this might
Um
not show up.
could um
Good,
so when
good,
you
good.
mean render, what do you mean? I mean,
So
I'm thinking 3D animation or 3D pixels
basically,
or art
turning a. Let me see if I
programs.
can turn off. My brain is small. I don't see my thing. Whatever. Um, so basically, turning a like you know how like if you draw a like a rock in like you draw a circle and you draw a rock like you're like okay that's a rock that's
Okay.
great but it needs to have texture it needs to feel like when you look at it you want to see like the cracks and you want to
Hmm.
like see the like little bits missing and where it's like other rocks have hit against it and that type of stuff and like the parts that
Okay.
it's smooth and that's the texture or like to render it it's to add texture to it
Hmm.
but it's just something I need to work on because I'm not super comfy with it yet. In fact, I don't think, made a render that I'm, quote, proud of. I'm going to send you a hot pic of it, James,
You do so.
if it will.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like via phone or something?
Yeah.
Oh, you do that. That'd be great.
That's good as it's gonna get. Blop. Into better life.
At some point when I get the message.
Yeah, I sent it, but whatever.
Nice. Well, um, yes, I feel like, just when you I retreated a lot today and well, today, every day. Um and but there was a point, because I woke up early today and I
Mm-hmm.
thought, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna like do some writing or something. And basically all I wrote was my excuses for why I didn't get things done, down. And then, it's like I tried for a moment to write something and I just didn't. I'm like, so I just opened the game, just played.
Yeah.
But while I was playing the game, it was like, it's felt so empty, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it, this is, this is not doing anything for me. And I'm just pushing aside all the things I should be thinking about,
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
pacifying yourself.
And, oh, I got your rock.
Yeah. The
That
texture.
looks like when you take a ball of aluminum foil, and you make one out of it, you just
Mm-hmm.
crunch it all together and you start rolling it. This texture just looks like aluminum foil ball texture, but it doesn't look like a rock.
Oh no, it wasn't supposed to be a rock. I was just trying to
Oh,
add a
okay.
texture to the outside of a circle. That rock thing
Oh,
was just an
okay, okay. I
example.
was like, well, I think it's a little too much. Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's too. Yeah, no. I just wanted to add a texture to a circle, and so
Okay, no, you achieved that. Um, yeah, totally. No, it actually passes really well for an aluminum foil rolling
we'll
scenario.
remember.
um, yeah, so it's like the mind, wants to move forward, wants to find these answers out, but ultimately, I there are some things that I just can't figure out right now, you know, like job. Um, the heart scenario is kind of good right now. Like we
Mm-hmm.
understand what we're gonna do. We understand, where to go from here. Um, we just gotta work on health and as best we can, and you know. So beyond that, there's not a lot I can do right this moment except for maybe resume,
Mm-hmm.
maybe start looking for a job, applying things like that. But um, nothing that I can just like fix, which is kind of like a lot of what I try to do is just solve a problem. Oh well, all we have to do is this, all we have to do is that, and I can't fix anything right now. And so it's like I've just, you know, it's like I'm trying to push time forward to the point where it can or has to be fixed. Like, oh, I just want to teleport to where I've actually lost my job. So then it's done. And
Right.
then something can be done. So, and then that makes me just think about, this. But, and that's where the whole pacification came in, it's like, oh, I don't know, all these questions, but I don't know. I mean, it's a new day, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had a little bit of time to process things, and it is nice seeing. I mean, that picture you drew was really nice. I have some good thoughts about it, you know? And I mean, when I first thought about our heap of garbage, I I didn't think, oh, I'm gonna have pleasant thoughts when I see, this picture of trash. But I did. And that's good. Maybe it's a little analogous to my life where it's maybe a ball of trash right now, a pile of it. And but it can still be pleasant and I can still make the best of these moments and move forward.
Well, I
So I'm
mean,
not going to give up.
if I have a vote, I definitely want to move forward. But I'm also more I'm not going to like want to strong arm you into anything. Like if you want to um take a break or move move away from this, I totally understand. So whatever you end up deciding is totally fine, and don't feel like you're on the spot right now.
Yeah, I probably can't answer that right this
Yeah.
moment. Um, but I have thought to myself, today it was like maybe I should just wake up and give some kind of excuse and just get me through a week. Um, but
Yeah, I think next
I
week you're
don't
gonna
know.
know a lot more than you are this week.
I agree.
You won't be
And
in the moment as much, and you'll know like what you're feeling.
yeah, it's this is I thought I had a little bit of stress before, but this was a little bit more than normal.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And but it's shed some light on what I thought was stuff that was an excuse to not get stuff done. Like before it was like, oh well, normal day-to-day activities. Oh yeah, you just need a break, It's like, normal day-to-day activities are just normal. They're not really stressful. You want to define them like that sometimes, like, oh, we just need a break. But ultimately, it's really the stuff beyond your control that really is stressful. And
Mm-hmm.
so it makes me think, normally, normally I should be getting stuff done. Um, and what was funny is I've been in the mood lately to be like, oh yeah, hey, what if what I could do for my fun was, one of my, you know, things that I was going to work on. Like, what if that was what I did for fun? Like, just defined things like that, right? And that was going to be like my goal for this week. Like, before all this went down, that was what my strategy was going to be. I'm like, because I was already starting to get myself in that mode at work. And and then I wasn't able to implement any of it. Um,
We had also
but
talked about something else on Friday too,
which was
or Thursday. Um, no wait, Friday because today's Friday. Um, it was so we were going to Sakura for our delicious Chinese food, and
Yes.
which we love, and it was no matter if you accomplished all your goals in the week, no progress on like you had no bearing on the progress of Pancake, of our current project that needs to be like accomplished, that needs to be like done. Do you remember this
Um,
conversation?
Define it a little bit more. I'm not
Oh
sure
yeah.
what I mean by no bearing.
So even if you were to accomplish all your goals during the week, like the goals that were on your list, it wouldn't push you to a point where Pancake was closer to being done.
Oh yeah, I remember now. Yes. I said basically that I felt like our goals needed to be more oriented towards progression in our current um, project.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we're just working on our
Yeah.
baby. Let's get started project, Project Pancake. And I said, even if I got all the writing done, you know, every day I practiced all that, it still doesn't progress us. You know, it's like we can get all the goals, the personal goals done all we want, but until we actually work on the project, we're not furthering. And I do think that's valid, and you're right to bring that up right now because it's like without that major goal, it's hard to just practice for practice sake, you know? So we do need to progress each week. And you did. You and it
Yeah.
was alone too. You progressed on the actual project this week. We are
Yeah.
further and we have a better understanding of the overall look now. You know, now there's this, I don't know, I have a pleasant feeling about what's happening here now. Whereas before it was like, okay, yeah, we got this project, we're going to do it, but we have no idea what the end result's going to be. And so there's nothing, it's just this shroud of mystery and these
Mm-hmm.
hopes. And now there's an image and a feeling to carry us on because real work was done, and you should feel very proud of that because it's a big deal right now, especially for me. It's a big deal to see some progress. I think I need it. I need it.
Page one is almost done.
So sometimes, you know, you can be on that all things going cruddy in your life, and that teammate can get you through it. You know, even if they are dragging you, you know, it's there's something to be said with
Yeah.
picking
Having
your
someone
partners.
else. Yeah. Having a good partner is important. You picked well, James. Just kidding. No, I like James as a partner too a lot. He's we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. A lot of things we do, but there's a lot of things we don't.
That's
And
right.
it's good to see the other side of stuff. So I think blinding yourself to one thing or another is just you're just limiting yourself as a person. And because of it, you know, James and I work really well together. Even when we disagree, we still work really well together.
Yes. Yes, we do. Joe is one of those rare individuals that you just like to make fun of, and he can take it so well.
Why would you make fun of me?
What do you
Not very
mean?
nice.
Yeah. Well, I can't make it all, all. I'm sorry.
Oh, I gotcha. Your masculinity is on.
That's
Is
right.
being
It's at
threatened.
stake.
Kindness and warmth.
It's enough
Oh,
kindness and warmth and happiness
stuff will
here. We need
shrivel
to.
up and fall off.
Where's the sledgehammer involved?
Yeah. Where's the weights?
Well, I
The
got
trophies.
the weights here.
You and me both.
How's your calisthenics been going? Have you been working
I
on that
haven't
at
done
all?
it Nope. I forgot to do it. Oh, I just
Thanks
have
for your
to-
honesty.
Yeah, no, it's something I want to get back into. I just,
I hear
there's just work is work. And after it, I'm like, oh, finally I can relax. And I only have an hour between after work and then when it's my time for dinner. And then I'm like, okay, well, I could spend that hour. It's not even that long. It's like 20 minutes, like working out. 20 minutes max working out. But it's just like getting myself to that point where I do it is hard. And honestly, it's become easier with my Fire Stick because I can be like, hey, computer, open Nike Fitness. She said no, apparently. Hey, computer, open Netflix.
Getting it from Fire TV.
It's getting it from Fire TV. And you'll see that pop on the back very shortly here. Camera, go! There it is.
Very nice. It's nice having computer.
Yeah, so like I had a barrier of I reduced the barrier of entry basically. I used to have it like I had to turn on my PS4 and then go to Netflix and all that. Now I just voice and it opens, and that's really, really nice. So I just ended up reducing the barrier, not intentionally, but because I wanted to be able to stream my PC to my TV. But now, other things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Well,
so,
I feel good now.
Yeah.
Not like I felt before. It was like a whole 180 here.
So how
'Cause, I
would you
mean,
describe like that feeling? Like what do you think changed that for you? And if someone else is in your same situation where they're thinking about giving up because of like personal tragedy that's just happening around them, like what do you say to them?
Well, what I'm kind of figuring out is that it's like by playing, and I've played a few hours of video games this week. Okay, let's say that. An old game, just something I'm comfortable with. I was playing some Grim Dawn, some Diablo-esque kind of clones, and trying some different builds and things like that, and it felt comfortable in my mind, like, oh, everything's relaxing, and but today especially, it's like my mind has now focused on what's the worth. It's like, yeah, I know I'm going through some crud right now, but I'm choosing to spend the time not getting further. Even if I don't know how the end product's going to be. And I didn't. I had no idea what it was going to look like. Not until our talk here.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the emptiness of, you're just moving time forward and there's nothing to show for it. Like, even if you were having a crappy day, Like, is there maybe anything, that you could do that would move you forward? That maybe something could be a little comfortable. I mean, it's not like you have to choose the most, difficult possible thing, but is there one aspect of anything that can just move you forward just a little bit? And I think you just realize after in the mourning process kind of still is happening, and then after that passes, and maybe that's what it did. It passed, and now it's like, okay, I've gotten one thing under control, and now this other thing is there's nothing I can do, and you're upset about it. It's like, oh, there's I want to do something right now, but I can't, and you just need to get away from the stress of it, and you hide, and then after a while you realize, hey man, I've been working on trying to move forward in my life, trying to complete goals. This hiding thing is not profitable, and you just have to decide whether or not you're going to continue or not. And if you're going to continue, then maybe it's not like any of this is helping anyone, maybe, I don't know, but it's like when I decided, hey, I'm just gonna, like yesterday, I had really considered just stopping all this. I'm like, hey, I got a side business. Maybe I could just delve into that with my wife. She might need some time with me anyway, and all of that. But instead, I decided, no, I'm gonna dedicate a large chunk of time and see if we can get something done and move forward on this and get some real work done. And I guess you either have to decide to give it up or go hard into it instead of just a little bit. I don't know. For me, it was like I've either got to get something out of this and put a meaningful chunk in here or end it. There is no, oh, I'm just gonna scale back a little bit and just use, just a little bit of. I don't think it's the wise to do just a little bit or scale back. You either go hard or go home. And even though I didn't know whether or not I was going to continue or not after this day, I still committed to doing the hard time. I don't know. Maybe that can help somebody if they're in some kind of a situation like that. Because sometimes maybe it is all the stress that's going on, and maybe it is just that if you can get a week past, maybe that's all it will take. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't have a short, sweet sentence answer.
No, and it's like not everything is going to be like this clean cut idea that you can just boil down and fit into a comic book line. Like life is messy, and if it wasn't, it'd be boring. So I'm glad that you're a little bit more pumped up, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the project even more so now that I've seen tangible progress towards the end goal. I feel like maybe we've taken too long to get to this point.
Maybe, but this is just the reality.
Yeah, we're learning. We're learning how to make do a project by ourselves from start to finish. And next time, maybe we won't end up taking so long to get to this point, but maybe we will. Who knows? But we'll be documenting it all along the way because that's just...
That's what we're doing. This
learning.
Is the experiment. It's kind of like we're forming a company and we're creating the order of operation for everything all at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And it's just like in the first episode where it's like, it's okay to be bad. We're bad at this. We don't know what the fuck we're doing. But we're learning. So yeah, we got some goals done this week. I do want to talk about next week's goals. So I want to specifically talk about goals we can do that push our project Pancake forward. I have some ideas. Because you can't draw the things yet. You're not an artiste of visual artiste yet. But you are a photographer.
Yes.
And so you understand like cinematography, rules of thirds.
Right.
So what I'd like from you is, like you did with the Pancake theoretical cover, I'd like to see some ideas on like reading through the story and some ideas of some storyboard ideas that you have, or general feelings of the book, or what words that stand out to you that are super essential for the like actual boxes of text, because we need all
Gotcha.
those things.
Okay. Yeah.
Because those are actual tangible goals towards Pancake, and that pushes us forward. So which one of those stand out to you? So we've got
Well,
some,
I tried to open Pancake earlier today, and my file is gone. So hopefully I could just grab that off of our drive. I'm
yeah,
pretty
it's
sure
on
it
our
was
drive.
still there. Once I get that open and can read it, I think we might want to talk about some changes to it, maybe today.
Okay.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind going through that and just kind of throwing out some basic things that I think are important for maybe like angles and or concepts that I think that are interesting, and we'll go from there. So yes, let me do some of that. Let me see what I can come up with, and what I think. And
Okay. Do you want to write down
interesting.
like some goals?
Sure. Let me grab a pen here. I think. Well, first of all, I need to get Pancake, and then need to get a
I
pen that
also
works better.
didn't like tearing out my goals. I didn't like that. I liked having my goals in my book.
Hmm.
The reason why, and it might just be a me thing, I like going back. Like, so, like, let's say my goals are on this page, right?
Hmm.
And then I draw on this page, and then the next one, and the next one. I like having to go back through my drawings to get to my goals. Because I don't know, it fills me with this, like, oh, look what you've done this week. Good job. It gives me a self attaboy that I like.
Nice. Well, I can't disagree with that. Sounds pretty good, especially someone who has visual, you
Yeah.
know.
I mean, you could do the same thing if you wanted to do it like on a sheet paper and you wrote afterwards. If you wrote physically more. So what I'm doing right now is I'm finishing page 1. Did you like what was that smirk for? I saw the devilish smirk.
Did you see that smirk?
I did.
What smirk?
Your evil one.
That was my write on paper look, like this guy.
There's something satisfied about writing on paper.
Yeah, but anyway.
I would never do it. I can type way faster than I can write.
Get back into the year you're in. All right. Oh, I basically, when I wrote Pancake, if you can call it writing, it was just, how do I get from point A to point B, in something that might work. I
like the weirdness in it.
I don't know how much of that we want to use or not. I wouldn't mind getting your opinion on that after this. So, but basically, I would like to, for one, get our file here. One, I'd like to review it, like to read it and think about it. And then after that, I would like to think about composition and angles and scenes that I think are worthy, ideas that are worthy. And then I would like to talk to you about that assessment. So I think I need a little bit of time to do that before that conversation.
Absolutely.
But that is valuable, especially if, Joe here thinks that Pancake is worth something. Maybe.
I do.
Someone will buy it, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I think there's
that has been the debate. I don't know. but I will admit, after seeing your drawing today of the first page, your part in this is, in my opinion, where that could change my opinion. It's just seeing that first page, I'm like, okay, if he puts in that work and it looks good, then I think that maybe we should just do this, and it does what it does, and we move on. This could be our first one. It doesn't have to be a pilot trap.
Yeah, I know.
Well, at first, when we thought about making this, it was like, hey, we just sketch something out. It doesn't have to be clean lines and all this stuff, and we just throw it in, and it's a book.
Right.
Like, I didn't think we were, making it clean. So,
yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I got lost. I lost my way on that, on the, the sketchiness. And maybe it's because I believe more in the project than, I don't know, than when we first talked about it, just like having a throwaway project. But I'm really happy with where it's going.
Well, and that makes me want to think about, looking at the writing a little bit. If this is something you're going to put some real time in and make something clean at the end, then maybe we need to clean up some of the concepts in there and make something that we could actually. And I will admit, I hate this whole Pancake thought.
You made it.
No, you said it. You're like, oh, the first pancake. I'm like, I've never heard this term before. Okay. Who said this? Is this something that anyone has said in history?
Oh my gosh, you need to Google it. It's a thing.
What? Okay, first of all, I have never made a bad first pancake.
Well, whoever you're feeding that first pancake to should be pitied.
The first pancake is usually the best pancake. Okay, maybe not. It's not, maybe, I don't know.
First pancake rule. The first pancake in effect the trial run, working out the kinks before all the variables or even heat and pan seasoning come together. It's the trial one. It's the,
Who said this?
The first pancake never turns out right. The second one is perfect, and the third needs some shaping.
Thought of this.
If you ever made pancakes, you know the rule. The first pancake always goes to the bin.
What? These people don't know how to cook.
You don't know what good food is, and you're feeding these poor people your sick-ass pancakes.
Fine. I guess it's a thing that I never knew and never heard of in my life. Because it's dumb.
The only thing dumb is
maybe I heard pancake. It, and I just threw it out of my mind. I'm like, this is not worth even combining these fat molecules to remember, or whatever. Anyway, yes.
It's weird. My list of goals is so short. Finish page 1, finish page 2. You can't read it, but it does
No,
exist.
it does exist. This cloud of. All right. Well,
But I think those are very good goals. And it feels
Well,
good to
awesome.
be working on Pancake. Whew, just got a feeling. That feels really good to be working on Pancake completion. Also,
yeah,
I got
saying
the
those words
page
feels good.
dimensions right as well. It's 1 and 1.6. 1 to 1.6. And that's the shape of the page I'm working on over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a while since I've exhaled in a good way.
Yeah, like some. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Do you want to leave it on a witty remark that we'll use as inevitably the title of the episode? Oh, I mean, maybe this isn't one of the episodes where we do some little silly gag of a name, because I mean, it's tragedy. It's not tragedy
I
as much as
think, I
just
don't know. I
stress.
mean, it may be quite cliche, but go hard or go home is kind of what I'm thinking. You
Yeah.
know, it's sometimes when you want to quit, you gotta do the opposite. You don't scale back. You just move in harder, and you see what happens in a week. You know.
And lean on the people you're working with or your family members to help support you. Don't be like don't no man is an island. Don't fight your fights by yourself. Reach out.
And it's okay to take a little bit of time
Yeah.
to just get past a moment. You don't have to make all the decisions the same week, you know? All right,
Cuz
well, I'm good
all right.
with today.
Sounds good. Well, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next
And
week
listening.
with and listening and watching and absorbing through osmosis. Have a wonderful moist day.